Today, however, I want to share something different, something that's happening in the world, very, very common. Like it's becoming very, very, it might seem strange for a Sunday service, but it's like all over the news that the government is now deciding to research or investigate UFO activity. Oh yeah, this is, you know, it's all over the news except in Linda May's house. Yeah, oh, okay. So you've heard about it too. It's funny because some of these TV shows, they're saying, because now it's news, it's real, it's true. But now it's news. Some of the news shows are like, and as you know, we've always been investigating this. I'm like, no, you haven't. You've laughed at people you've interviewed, but it's becoming more and more clear that this exists. So we'll talk about this, and to me, it's humorous because of these people that advertise that, even individuals and people on TV being interviewed as experts, oh yeah, we've known all along. No, you haven't. I was there 40 years ago teaching about this, and there wasn't a lot of other people. Somebody I'm grateful for is Eric von Däniken, who wrote Chariots of the Gods, because he did this way before most of the experts of today were born. So God bless people like that who had the courage to say, hey, you know what? There's something more. And decades before von Däniken, Edgar Cayce said in readings, in some vague passage once they didn't expect, he's talking about ancient civilizations. And then he said, and he goes in passing, he mentions this portal that was created on Earth back in the days when people from other systems were visiting here more regularly. So he's talking about a time in ancient history where an actual portal was here on Earth for beings to be coming directly to Earth through this portal. Now, of course, they still use these time-space portals in space, but Cayce, he put this out there decades ago. So I love when people have the courage to just tell the truth. Some of you might remember a couple of years ago, I said, now it's going to happen. Okay? I said, it's going to happen now where the UFOs and all the cryptid and strange stories, Loch Ness Monster and whoever else, it's all going to start coming out. And it did, just like I predicted, right? You remember that? Me telling you it's going to happen within a couple of years, and here it is. So now it's not like I'm just praising my prediction on UFOs that came to pass, like most things I predict, but I'm telling you, what are you going to do when you find out all the other things are real? Right. The UFO thing's already going to creep people out. Because if there's beings from other systems coming here, wait, what? Are they good guys, bad guys? Who sent them? Why are they, now you have alien abductions and all kinds of, governmental stories. It gets really, really crazy. But if you think that's weird, wait till all the other stuff comes out, because it's going to. They already know about things like, it's an awkward thing to mention, but like Sasquatch. These things are real. And people love living in their little illusions so that things seem somewhat safe, but they're real. People have known about them for a long time. So these are, intergalactic beings. But why doesn't everybody know about it? Because the unholy trinity called science, religion, and government said, no, they don't exist. Now they're going, well, guess what? Now oh yeah, man, there's some people that are making this come out, the Senate. Listen. The government assassinated people who talked about it. They can't fully come out. You know what I mean? Yes. Vatican's known about it. Everybody's known about it. But the masses haven't known. And why? They didn't want to know. When we hire those creepy people to run our world, it's because people are afraid of taking their own power and realizing, listen, I never needed them to tell me it's real. Why are you sitting around going, the government's finally... so maybe it's true. Why did you need them of all people to control how much information you're going to? Just accept it. Just stop and go, you know what? I guess Shakespeare was right. There are more things in heaven and earth that are dreamt of in all your philosophies. It's, oh my God, just go for it. He had it. He figured it out. It's all true. You find out Sasquatch was dating the Loch Ness Monster. It's all of this. Anything is possible. Brings up images, right? Standing on the shoreline. Ooh. Nessie is like continents away, Sorry I can't be there right away, I'm coming to you, Sasquatch. So presidents in the past, Reagan, Clinton, Trump, have all said there's something going on and we're going to, Carter, we're going to expose this. And why is it they got into office and never did? There's somebody else that has say-so in our world, guys. And I'm not going off on conspiracy stuff on a Sunday sacred service, but I'm just, hey, we're going to have to look at this at the deepest level. There's so much going on. But these groups, they just like, no, we don't want people to understand this. But here's the good news about this. Who did believe in this? Science, religion, right? Government, they control most everybody. So most everybody was skeptical or complete non-believers. So who did believe it? A few eccentric nerds, sitting at home going, I saw a light, and then his family members are like, oh, Guess what? The other people, the masses were insane. The people that said, I think I was abducted, they were not insane. They were telling the truth. Okay? So it's important for us to recognize the people that believed in it were not just a small group of eccentrics. Who's the group that believed it all along? The spiritual community. Not religion, not government, right? No, not science. Us. So when they start talking about how they're figuring it out, let's just own. We don't need you. We're not waiting for you to validate us. We've known about this for all along. Okay? Let's own. Let's take the credit. We've known about this. Are they going to give you the credit? They're going to go by what they figure out, and they're going to act like they're releasing information. They need to catch up to us. We already know it. So soak that in. You guys were right all along. You knew stuff was happening. Some of you were channeling beings from other star systems, and your family had you committed. Guess who needs to be committed now? The ones that committed you. They're the ones that are kind of out of it. They're just sadly in deep denial. It's fear. Of course, it's fear. So that's right. It was the spiritual community. And by all means, man, let's one piece of advice, let's not wait around for someone like the Egyptian government to finally tell you that there are truly temples and passageways under the Great Pyramid that lead to the Hall of Records. Do I need them to tell me that? No, I really don't. I've been teaching these things for 40 years. I know this. I don't need it. I mean, you can just feel it. The people, oh my God, the denial. But again, it's fear. And now the good news is there's still going to be people in denial. Even this is coming out. There's going to be people in denial. They're afraid. And there's also going to be those of us who start to go, oh my God, it's wonderful. Information is starting to open up. But there's those who will recognize when more and more comes out and people become illuminated, enlightened, so to speak, they lose control, they lose power. And so those forces, the unholy trinity again, they're not going to be okay with it the more this comes out, believe it or not. Some of you might think they're okay with it, but they're not. So there's going to be some strange things happening in this world. And I'm just saying, this is a sacred service, so I want to approach this conversation or this topic from the deepest, most accurate standpoint. I'm not talking about just, because this is no victory for us. We've known all along. But there is this, there's still going to be this pushback by some people. Practice smiling. Don't try to go out to the local supermarket converting people into a new religion called aliens. We don't need to do anything bizarre like that, but just smiling and remember, we've known all along. Say that. Hey, did you hear? Well, yeah, but I already knew that. That's been known. Help them to realize this has been known so they can more easily adapt to the new topic. Does that make sense? All right, good.